I now call the honourable member for Holt.
Mr Deputy Speaker, I rise tonight to again raise in this House and pay tribute to the indomitable spirit of the people of my electorate of Holt. One of the most rewarding aspects of being a Member of Parliament is meeting people from all walks of life, every strata of the community. And one of the great things, I think, and it is emphasised to me about the quintessential nature of the Australian spirit, is when you go to a citizenship ceremony, and I often attend a citizenship ceremony that's conducted by the City of Casey. And in that citizenship ceremony, you have people from every corner of the globe that take a step to becoming an Australian citizen. It's a very humbling experience to be there as a Member of Parliament, representing the Australian Government, or just being a Member of Parliament. But one thing that it strikes me, and as part of the City of Casey ceremony, hand out a plant. It's invariably an Australian native plant. And in that plant there is the Australian flag. On the Australian flag we have the stars of the Southern Cross. And the fascinating thing about that, when you hand that over to our newly sworn Australian citizens, or those that have taken the oath, is this, that regardless of where you are in Australia, when you look up at the night sky, you look at the Southern Cross, it doesn't matter who you are, where you've come from, what race, colour, creed, we are all equal under the stars of the Southern Cross. And I think that's one of the defining features of the Australian spirit. I am no more important, any of us are no more important than the people that we serve in our electorates. And can I say, there's more common sense. I note that the press gallery is empty. It always is this time of night. There's nothing controversial that we might want to say. We're going to talk constructively, or certainly nothing I'm going to say. But the fact is this, I get more common sense. I get more insight into where our country needs to go. I get more insight into what our country needs to do by listening to people who walk through my door, who listen to people that are tradies. Doesn't matter where they come from, what they do. They have a right to articulate their views, their opinions. And I can tell you what, they are much more erudite and informed than many of the articles I read in the newspapers. I can tell you that much for a fact. And I think it's about time when we're closeted away in this place in Canberra, this place removed from the Australian people. John Button once famously said that we built this new House of Parliament, and in some cases we've pulled ourselves away from the Australian people. We should be more connected with them, and I know that we have a lot of visitors that come through this place. But when I listened to, for example, last week, I had people that came through my doors, my constituents. I sat there and I listened to them. And let me tell you something, some of the issues that they raise, their visions, their hopes, their ambitions, their lives. We talk about our lives, and our lives get reported upon in this place. And it's covered in it, it's basically the fish and chip wrapping, if you want to use that term, for the next day's feed or whatever it is. But the key thing is this, that their lives are really important. Their lives so rarely get reported on. Their stories. I heard a story from a gentleman called Ron Webb, who came into my office last week, a man of 74 years of age, with tremendous life experience, with great values. Now, he may well be on the sort of conservative divide of politics, but the wisdom that I heard from Ron, the experiences that he shared with me, the achievements of his life, and it's interesting, he was saying, I have lived this life, I've done these things, but there's been no one to chronicle my existence. There's been no one to sort of know what I have done, what I have achieved. And what disturbed me the most about this, that he didn't feel, and he was saying he was talking about the community that he'd been talking to, that we collectively were not listening enough. There is a great crisis of confidence in the body politic at the moment and the way the Australian people view Australian politics. And that is a problem for us all, believe you me. And the fact for us is that I do believe that we need to be more removed from this place, talking to our people more, listening, because, as I said to you, there is more common sense in talking to a tradie then I dare say many of those people that sit on the second level, and they are the people that should be heard more often in this place instead of the people we read in the newspapers.